So I thought I'd put together a little bit different type of video. I'm out here with the Traxxas Mini Max doing a little testing, made some modifications, put in a slipper clutch, aluminum center drive shaft, running a TQI radio and a 2075 like stock Traxxas servo. But I thought I'd make a video kind of along the same lines as something Beyond RC put out. So he put out a two-part video talking about kind of like 10 topics in the RC YouTube space, just his thoughts on a lot of feedback I think he gets in his comments. It's not so much like a response video to that, but more just talking about the same topics in my opinion, which might be a little bit different than what you might expect an RC YouTuber to say. So I'll cover those same 10 topics that he covered and give my opinion. CCXRC also put out a video talking about basically free cars, and you know, people making comments that, well, why don't I get a free car? This YouTuber got one and I don't like their videos, or they're not honest, whatever. So that's kind of the first topic. And free cars is, you know, always kind of touchy because I don't know if it's a monetary value or whatever, but people get kind of upset about free cars. So the one thing I will say is that, you know, obviously, you know, if someone sends you an RC car, they're gonna send it to somebody with like a decent following, a decent number of subscribers or whatever, because obviously they want to have some publicity, get some, you know, information out there about a new product that they're trying to sell. The way I view it, maybe a little bit different than most, but you know, the way I view it is, you know, I got free RC cars before, or I mean, I made videos before I ever got a free RC car. So, you know, I think I've been pretty much critical of at least, you know, one car from every company in the past. And, you know, obviously my review videos, I try to be objective and, you know, sort of good analysis or whatever. And I think most companies, if you point out a flaw or what you perceive to be a flaw, you know, most companies are trying to improve their product and make the best product they can. So I think that's one thing people don't realize, is that RC car companies are trying to make good RC cars. And so if you can point out something that makes their car better and they improve it, well, that's a good thing. So the way I see it is, you know, whatever videos I made in the past, I think were pretty objective and honest and stuff. And if they like those videos and they want to send me a car, well, then I should continue to make those types of videos. So I don't see a reason to try to hide stuff or be less objective or only nice. I think most RC companies realize not everything about their car is perfect or best in class in like every category. And you know, if they like the videos I made in the past, well, then that's probably what I should continue to make. So that's kind of how I view it. Second thing I would say is that car companies in the past have definitely sent me things that I thought were not that great. Definitely have flaws. Best example I can think of is a motorcycle that came out, you know, maybe 6-7 years ago. It was like a fairly expensive motorcycle. I think it was like $600-700 bucks, $500 bucks, something like that. And it was really slow, overpriced. And I didn't make a video, or I told them, hey, you know what? I think this motorcycle's got a bunch of flaws. These are the things I think you should correct. Lower the price, make it faster, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I could release a video telling you that I don't really like it, or that it's got all these flaws. Or I think what is a better alternative is that you take this feedback, improve the product, and then release it for the first time with all those improvements. So I think overall that's better for the customer, because you got something out there that is, you know, maybe worth buying. It's better for the company because then you can release a better product out there that hopefully will sell better. So it's a win-win situation to me. That's kind of how I view it. I also have limited time and how many videos I can make. You know, if there's 5 RC cars and one of them is bad and 4 of them are good, I'd rather tell you which 4 are good than you know, make a video which is bad. Because if I only have time to make one video and I tell you, okay, this car is not very good, well, that doesn't help you a whole ton, because there's still 4 others you have no idea about. But if I make a video saying I think this is probably the best car, well, I think that's way more useful to you, and, you know, can kind of help you make a decision about what to buy. Because at the end of the day, you know, most of my videos are review videos, and it's more useful to tell you what I think is the best RC car than what I think is the worst RC car. Hopefully that makes sense, especially if I have limited time. If I had unlimited time, maybe I'd make a video on every single thing out there, but there's a lot of cars out there I don't review. I generally review the bigger, more popular, and generally the better RC cars, because that's what I have time to do and what I rather spend my time on. So the second topic is honesty and integrity. I think that follows along with freak RC cars a little bit, or maybe that's the implication. So here's my view. I've been making content on RC cars, you know, for years before anyone ever sent me anything, and I think I've made at least one video, you know, critical at least of a car from at least every company out there. Let's just take Team Associate for example. I mean, the Rival MT10, I felt like it broke the front arms a fair amount. I have like an upgrade video. I think the motor mount bends a bit too easily. It's, you know, probably not as fast as like the Granite, stuff like that. Armas, the Crane 4S V2 and the Outcast 4S V2, I broke like maybe 5 chassis of those things in like a month. So, and so, you know, the way I view it is every company, I've made at least comments in the past about, you know, things that need to be improved or whatever. So the way I view it is, if they liked those videos in the past before they sent me any RC car, you know, why would I change what I do? I'm still going to make the same types of videos, same comments, reviews, whatever. I mean, I do think I'm a little bit more objective than maybe your average YouTuber. So if you look at kind of the core principles of this channel, it's honesty, competence, or being competent, and then finally being fair. And you know, a lot of people talk about honesty or integrity or whatever, but to be quite frank, that's not enough, right? I think for the most part people are relatively honest. You know, people might downplay certain things or whatever, but I wouldn't say, you know, people are dishonest or whatever in general in the YouTube game. But that's not enough in my opinion, right? You know, if you can't sort of competently analyze an RC car and give feedback that makes sense, then that's almost like no more useful than lying about a product, right? If you think this Mini-Max goes about 30 miles per hour and you said, well, you know, it's super fast and it's probably not really for a 12 scale monster truck, then that might be lying. But if you also think 30 miles per hour is really fast in general because all you've ever had are little brush cars, well, then that's sort of, you know, maybe a lacking an understanding or competence about RC. So both of those are not particularly helpful. So I do think, you know, having a fairly strong understanding of RC cars is important, just as important as being honest. That's just kind of what I strive for. Last one is being fair. So you can be completely honest about, let's say, a Traxxas, right? You love Traxxas cars, you think everything Traxxas makes is great, and you can give out that feedback. But if you've never driven another brand, you're not familiar with what is out there, or you're legitimately just a fanboy, then let's go on. Then that's not, you're not really being fair, right? It's like if you're a Ford lover and you just will always say bad things about Chevy. Well, you're being honest, but you're not being fair, right? So having that sort of objectivity can be, you know, something that I think you need. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on integrity or honesty or whatever. Yeah, I think obviously people should be honest, but I also think people should know what they're talking about, and also be kind of objective. That's another word for fair. I guess I'm lucky because I don't feel like I get a whole ton of hater comments. Obviously there are negative comments and people are just gonna say things just to be negative, but you know, 99 times out of 100 I feel like all the comments are actually pretty positive, or at least reasonable. So I appreciate that. So maybe I just don't get as many haters as some other channels, but I don't, personally at least, find that to be super big issue. So I mean, obviously you need to have a bit of a thick skin in YouTube in general, but yeah, for the most part, I hate it. I think I've banned a couple people that are, honestly, just don't actually add anything. They just want to just say ridiculous things that aren't true, but for the most part, not really an issue. Paid promotion tag is something you're supposed to put on every YouTube video where you got something of value. I agree with Beyond RC completely on this. Not every channel does that. Rather unfortunate, because it's actually in the YouTube terms and conditions. So it doesn't mean you actually got money from a company, but yeah, if you got something of value, which I think an RC car qualifies, you should be putting down that tag. That's all I'll say about it. Yeah, not every channel does it, but they should be. My thoughts on skate parks might be a little bit different because I skateboard, so when I go to the skate park, I'm there skating. So I don't drive my RC cars to the skate park the whole time. Occasionally I will, and I think there's nothing wrong if, you know, there's nobody there skating, but yeah, if you are skating, don't drive your RC car there. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Getting hit by a 15-pound, 40-mile-per-hour RC car while you're just trying to skate around is very not cool. So I think it's more of a popular thing maybe in the UK where the weather's bad. I don't know. It seems like in the US, people obviously take cars to the skate park, but there's also definitely usually places just to bash on dirt, so maybe more of a UK thing. I don't really know much about Raffle. I think it's just like a lottery type system where you can sell tickets and then people can buy tickets and have a chance to win stuff. I don't think, you know, people in the US generally do this. It might be more of a UK thing, but my only thoughts, well, not a ton of opinions on Raffle other than, you know, you should be calculating the value of a ticket. So if you've got a $100 RC car that you raffling and tickets are $1, well, there shouldn't be more than 100 tickets sold because the value of the car is $100. So $100 or $1 times 100 tickets is $100. So, you know, if someone's selling 150 tickets, to me that's not really appropriate. But obviously, do what you want, and people are going to do what they want. Yeah, that's my only thoughts about Raffles. Not something I think anyone in the US does, so don't have too much more else to think about that. So, still enjoy the hobby, doing it for money, yada yada yada. This is probably the area I disagree with Beyond RC the most. I don't do this for money. I started out without trying to make any money. I mean, I'm not going to say money doesn't matter to me, but I do have a full-time job. Zero interest in doing this as a living, as, you know, sort of my occupation. So yeah, I have no plans of doing it for money. So motivation for me really is to just try to get as much good information out there as possible. And that's why I make review videos, tuning videos, that kind of stuff, because that hopefully helps people enjoy the hobby more. That's really the goal. People have as good of experience as possible, and making money is really just to help pay for these things so I can continue to make content. Wow, this thing is awesome on this little track. Should have came here earlier. Yeah, so I still enjoy it. I mean, the other part is, you know, it's a little strange, but there's a saying, you know, if you never want to work a day in your life, just find something you like doing for fun and make that your career. Well, I think the opposite's also true. If you want to completely lose a hobby, then kind of the quickest way to do that is to turn it into your job and then you pretty much instantly lose your hobby, in my opinion. So yeah, that's why I only make videos when I feel like it, about stuff I want to do. If I ever wake up and feel like I have to make a video, then that's, to me, pretty negative and not something I want to do. So yeah, still motivated. I'm not saying I, always enjoy making videos, but I just try to keep it 2 times when I want to. In terms of other struggles, yeah, I mean, there's a lot I think that goes into making YouTube videos that a lot of people don't realize. At least for somebody like me that works full time. When I can make videos is somewhat limited. So, if it's raining or someone's at the park where I want to run, or something breaks on the first job, there's all sort of like little annoyances that can definitely get in the way of making videos. So something probably people don't realize, it's not just about doing what you would normally do and then everything's fine. You do actually have to deal with a lot of things behind the scenes that you might not know. For example, a lot of times I'll just get an RC car and then I'll be expected to, release date is 2 days later, and it's like, well, the first day is raining and the second day, I have to work, so I have to squeeze in some time somehow. So that can be challenging, but yeah, just stuff that kind of comes with the territory, I think, with having a YouTube channel. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just some thoughts about RC and YouTube that maybe is a little bit different perspective, different thoughts. Yeah, as far as what's next, well, this mini max video, hopefully I can review this. I do think the slipper clutch makes a significant difference, especially on that little track, which turns out to be like the perfect place to run it. Actually, it'd be a great place to have like little races or whatever with these little guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit of different flavor, a little bit different taste. And yeah, if you have thoughts on any of these topics or there are things you want me to discuss, throw them down in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe buttons as usual. Take care now.